All right, good. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for jumping on. Some of you who jumped on and didn't figure out what was going on, like, what the hell am I watching here? So Stacy and I are in Orlando. We're getting ready for EXP Shareholders Convention. We're super excited for that. I know Candace is on her way to the airport. Maybe some of you others are down here, but we're looking forward to hooking up with all the leaders. Every time we go to these events, we learn something. So we're excited to bring that back to all of you. So this morning, my mindset wanted to be real quick for you is the leads are coming to us. We are not going through the phone book like the old days and calling them. They are coming in and asking for information. So keep that in mind and tell yourself that when you are when you're out there getting ready to call them. So this morning I want to start off with some wins. Who has had some wins this week? Stacy's going to start. She's like, what? Stacy's going to start. She's going to tell you about what happened to us Sunday. And then we'd love to hear from all of you. Just 15, 20 seconds. Like what happened? If it has to do with the leads, you get extra credit. If it has just something great that happened to you this past week, let's hear it. Go ahead.
I'm going to start.
Better lean forward. I'm going to hear it.
My success. I'm talking about Sunday. I had one of the direct connect leads come through where I hit the one and then wanted to speak to him. And gentleman popped on. He was a little caught off guard, as they seem to be. That it's kind of big brotherish, and that we're calling him right back. But we started talking, and not only is he interested in, he called in our, whatever you want to call it, searched on a condo downtown in Victorian Village. And so we're talking, we got the rapport building. I always like to joke. That's one of the things we'll talk about is maybe how you get them lightened up and to keep moving. But he is interested in upgrading in Victorian Village, selling his condo in his current condo community, which is right down the street. And he's got 3 others as a rental. So he's selling 4 and buying 1. So that was one of the leads that came through, and it was slow start, cold start. Like you've got to warm up the internet leads, get them laughing and stuff like that. But we'll talk a little bit more about that. But that was one of my big successes. What do you mean?
Awesome. So Stacy's meeting guys on the internet. Awesome. Well done on that. That made everybody laugh. No, Sunday we had we put 4 out of 5 deals into contract. It can, yeah. Leads was the extra credit. I'm glad you did the part about the leads. But we had a great week too in real estate. Open houses too are going great right now, guys. If you're not getting in them, who else got some? Chris, you're unmuted. You got to win. Oh, Melissa, go.
So many of you know Laura and I have a YouTube channel that we did last year. We've kind of like
hey real quick, Melissa, put it in the chat after you tell us the story so everybody can follow you and subscribe.
Actually, I don't want you to because I want the algorithm to find my clients, not my real estate agents.
Chris.
But so we actually had coffee with an investor from Israel. So she reached out to us from our YouTube channel, and we set up a meeting. She was in Columbus, so hopefully some potential in the future. She wants to invest. She said her goal, her and her partner's goal, are to have 5 to 10 homes per month in Columbus, and they're fixing and flipping, and so we would list them once they get them fixed. So
career changer, well done. And so just so everybody has some context, how many days, weeks, months, or effort did you put in beforehand before that paid off like that?
We started our channel, I think we posted first last March, and we have 22 videos. The key is being consistent. We haven't, since August, we haven't posted anything. We're kind of trying to figure out what we want to do with it. So
Melissa, March of 23 or March of 22?
22.
So for over a year, you've been consistently working on this, and now it's paying off. That's
although
lesson for everybody.
Laura and I did have a closing that was cash buyer 975 that bought in German Village, and that was from the YouTube channel. So
that is really great for everybody. For a mindset standpoint, is when you're operating on the internet, sometimes it's the consistency. What Melissa's teaching us here is the consistency of it and doing it over time and continuing at it. Great job. Congrats. Well earned, well deserved. Who else has got to win? Everybody else is like, oh my gosh, mine was just, I had somebody call me back. I don't want to say it, but we'd love to hear it. Who else got to win they want to share? And then we're gonna
it's Candace.
Hey, go Candace, go.
What's up? Hey, so it's kind of crazy. Of my deals so far this year, I've gotten, I think, 7 referrals from other EXP agents, and just got another referral from an EXP agent that I've helped like 3 of his referrals. So I just think it's a win that he keeps sending me deals. So
That's great. Well done. Well done. Yeah, if you do a great job on that, awesome. Great job. Who else got one?
I know Krista has one.
Crystal, let's go. This is class participation. You
She
said
might
that-
not be able to
I
talk.
do. What do I
Oh,
have?
your husband?
Yeah, got my husband on. I can't start my video.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, so my husband's license got transferred to EXP yesterday.
Uh,
Woo.
Well done. Well done. And we know convincing husbands is easy, right? Super easy to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
Well done, Krista. Who else got a win they want to share? We're not going to drag it out. But next week I'm just going to call on people, make them do it. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Great stuff. Hopefully you had a little laugh this morning off that video. Great job on the wins. And look, a win can be as simple as this. I powered through and I knocked out all my tasks that I needed to do. Because here's the thing, there's a thing called, and you can study it, it's called call reluctance. For some reason, human beings, we will have this reluctance to do the grind activities that make you win. An example of the grind activities would be like for Melissa Laudick for her YouTube channel, which she's not going to tell us that I'm going to have to unsubscribe because I already looked you up and subscribed to it. So I'll unsubscribe from it. I didn't know you didn't want realtors on there, but she had to go out and make these 22 videos. The amount of time of filming it, producing it, editing it, posting it, and then waiting, that is the consistency. And then similar thing is going to go with real estate leads. So today I've got some great stuff for you because some of the questions that people have, and this is going to be whether you've been doing this for just 1 year or you've been doing this for 20 years, we're going to talk about what is the anatomy of calling back an internet lead. I believe it's a 4-step process. And what I'll be looking for is after I run through this, I'll be looking at your experience, your tips, your tricks, and what you're going to take from this. By the way, if you have pen and paper, you're going to want it. I'll give you a screenshot of my notes, but my chicken scratch would be hard for you to read. But we want to hear from you what works for you, like especially Krista Johnson. Like you've called these leads of Krista's before and had massive success. I want to hear what have you done with these leads? How have you connected with them? How did you get them to the closing table? We'll be calling on you in a little bit, and then we'll have Q&A at the end. Some of the questions I'm going to answer, for example, is I got a great one from Rance Robinson the other day. He said, what do I do if they have a bad phone number? Like, I don't want to be removed from the rotation when am I just supposed to sit there and just call an old bad phone number? And then we'll go to the chat and we're going to ask some other questions. We're going to answer some other questions. I see Cindy's got one in there too. But first, let's get right into this. Let's get into what I believe the 4 steps, the framework of a callback on an internet lead. Okay. And I'm going to run through these real quick and then we're going to dive into each one of them deep. And this is going to be great for you. Okay. So I believe there's 4 steps. First step is greeting. You got to greet them properly. The second step is identify. Okay. You have to identify who you are, right? Who's this stranger calling me from the internet? Third step is your USP. What is your unique selling proposition? Why choose you out of the 10,000 other realtors that are out there, right? And then CTA. Number 4, step 4 is the CTA, call to action. Okay. If Stacy was on a separate computer, I would have her actually type these in there, but we are in Orlando. So we're sitting here together running through this. Okay. So step 1, the greeting. It is very important for human beings to hear their name. The sweetest sound they've ever heard is their name. You have to use their name. It's very important. And we learn that as a baby. It does something to us psychologically when we use their name. The more you can use someone's name in a conversation or in a voicemail message, the more connected they're going to feel to you because they love the sound of their name. Everybody's proud of their name. My name is, right? As soon as you meet someone, first you say, what's your name? My name is, boom. Now we've given our names. Okay. So we're going to start off. And here's how I would start off. Step 1, the greeting. Hi, Rance. My name is Jim. I'm a local real estate agent here in Central Ohio. And whoops, I wrote some notes on here. Sorry about that. And I would use the city specific if they filled it in. So for example, if they came in and they're looking at Dublin houses, I would say, hi, Rance. My name is Jim. I'm a local real estate agent here in Dublin. Okay. My team sent you some texts and emails also. That's step 1 in the greeting. So they've been getting messages from the AI, right? From the robot. You want to let them know that those are coming from you. Now, the reason I said my team has sent you some texts and emails is because some of these people have been being cultivated by Chris's system for a while. They've been getting stuff from the Buckeye Advantage team. Now they're getting stuff from the EXP team. And you just want to let them know that those are coming from you, because now this lead is assigned for you to work, right? So we're going to make that generic. So hi, Rance. My name is Jim. I'm a local real estate agent here in Central Ohio. My team has been sending you some texts and emails already. Okay, step one, greeting. The second step is identify. So Rance, you recently visited our website and I wanted to follow up with you. It looks like you've been looking for homes in the Dublin area around the $300,000 area, but I can help you no matter where you were looking or whatever you were looking for. Okay. Here's why I think that's important. By the way, the reason we record this, because you're like, wow, he talks fast, is you can go back and you'll be able to take this recording and you'll be able to write these out. Again, this is the way I would do it. You're going to make this your own. It has to be something smooth for you, but this is the framework and how I would go. The identification part is smart because these are internet leads. You want to spit back to them what they put into the system. But however, at the end of it, you want to make sure you say, but I can help you no matter where you are looking or whatever you are looking for. Because sometimes people are putting in, $950,000 houses, right? I mean, how many $1 million sales happen in Columbus? Of course, it's nice to look at pretty $1 million homes, but maybe they're a first-time home buyer. You don't want to blow them out of the water and just leave a message. Hey, you're looking for $1 million homes in New Albany. Awesome. I can help you there. When maybe they're a first-time home buyer. Because, right, who here would still like to get first-time home buyers? We know this. The majority of the leads that are going to come in are going to be first-time home buyers. They're making up, actually, believe it or not, the majority of the sales. The millennials and the Gen Zs coming in. Okay, so step one, greeting. Step two, identify them, that you know who they are. You understand who they are. And you're spitting back, regurgitating their information back to them. That's going to let them know that you're not some robot and things like that, and they're talking to you. The third step is the USP. Now, a lot of agents don't know this, but it's very important. It's called a unique selling proposition. What makes you different from the 10 other websites they went to that day? Maybe they were on some other sites very similar to what Chris has built, and they put information in there, and they have those realtors calling them also, right? We have a lot of competitors out there that are using similar type search engine optimization to collect leads, and people aren't sold on you yet. So the USP, if you don't know how to build one, I have a YouTube channel. Please go there and subscribe to a YouTube channel, watch my stuff, like and comment on it. And it talks specifically how to create your own USPs, your own unique selling proposition. And here's what I would say. By the way, we've done first two steps. Step three, by the way, Rance, just so you know, using a realtor doesn't cost you anything. I have access to homes you won't find by searching yourself on the internet. And I also know all the grant money and special purchase programs that are available to you. Now, did I say anything in there that any other realtor doesn't have available? No, right? All realtors know about the grant money programs. Also, realtors know about what's called shadow inventory. But if they're not leaving that in their message, does that make that prospect want to call you back? Right? I know about homes that you can find that are not on the internet. Now you have something that's unique. They need you now. You also know about grant money and special purchase programs. Is that available to all realtors? Yes, of course. But if you're the only one talking about it, who does that prospect think is the person that has it? It's you. Okay, so you want to squeeze that in. I love the fact also that you're telling them it doesn't cost you anything to use a realtor. A lot of especially first-time home buyers think they have to pay you to use you. That's why they're on the internet doing the research themselves, because they're like, how do I pay this realtor? I mean, they drive a nice car, right? Obviously they make money. They think that's coming out of their pocket. And you want to make sure that you throw that in there. They're more likely to use you. They don't have to pay you. In fact, you'll see if you talk to somebody, you let them know, hey, by the way, I'm sure you already know this, but it doesn't cost you anything to use me. There's almost this look of relief on their face that comes off like, oh, really? That's awesome, right? So yeah, you get paid to put the deal together and help you get through, but only if I help you get the house and I get paid from the seller. They're ecstatic about that program, okay? And then step four, the most important step and probably the most forgotten step is the call to action. CTA, call to action. You have to, every conversation, every interaction you have with a lead or a prospect should be moving you towards another interaction. Okay. The purpose of the meeting is to schedule another meeting. That's sales 101. That's why we're talking. It's so that we can set up the next appointment, the call to action. And the call to action is going to go like this. So Rance, let's connect. We could connect via text, call, email, Zoom, just real quick to determine where you are in the process. Whatever you're most comfortable with, we can do that. We can grab a cup of coffee, but from there, we can create an action plan. Does that sound good? I look forward to hearing from you. Just get back to me and we'll set up a plan. Boom. That's the call to action. Now, why do I mention we can text, call, email, Zoom, or meet up for a cup of coffee? Why do I say that? Because everybody is different. Like some people don't ever want to hear your voice. One of Stacy's favorite story is she literally did an entire real estate transaction without ever talking to the buyers, ever. The entire thing, never talked to them and did it. You did the whole thing through text. They didn't like talking on the phone. They were introverts. They didn't want a bunch of chit chat. It was just texting the entire transaction. You actually didn't end up meeting them for the house till closing. First time she met them and talked to them. And so some people are like that, right? I'm sitting next to one. If she never had to talk to anyone and could just text the entire time, she would be happy. So we're going to talk to them in their language. What are they like? Some people are emailers. I would rather stick a hot poker in my eye than do email, but hey, it's however people communicate. Look, they're the client. We're going to communicate to them in their language, just like love languages, right, Stacey? All right, what do you want to add?
So I'm actually typing out while we're talking.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And
She was paying attention. She wasn't playing on the internet.
And I'll put it in the chat because if you're like me, a lot of times the direct connect's not going through and leaving a voicemail. So that I think that first communication is really, really important. So I'm kind of scripting out what we do as far as you can leave it either in a voice text and or I like to text. So I'll put that in the chat in a second. I'm filling it out right now.
All right, so I'm going to let people here, if you have some questions, comments on that. And again, you'll be able to go back and rewatch this and pause it and stuff if you want to copy what I'm saying on here. But the key to it is this: you need to have a framework of how you're going to do it, adapt it to your style, and then just have it in your head where you can spit it out. For me, I like to have the skeleton. I like to know what it is and then just fill in the information from there. Chris, I see you unmuted. Go for it.
Yeah. So would you recommend like using, this framework, the script, whatever, not just for your call, but like for a voicemail, if you don't get them on the phone, video texting, once they start doing that, kind of just keep it all the same, or should they like each time tweak it a little bit so it's not the exact same thing? Or what are your thoughts on that?
So I love this question from Chris on this, because I think this framework helps in no matter what format you're communicating with them with, because it's taking away the objections. It's calling out the elephant in the room right up front. The big elephants in the room are, hey, how much am I going to have to pay this person that's reaching out to me, right? It doesn't cost you anything to use a realtor. It's going to set some bait to bring them in to connect with you, right? I have access to homes that you can't find by searching yourself. And I also know all the grant money programs and special purchase programs that are out there that are available to you that I can help you out with. So I would use it, but each time you leave a message, I would probably alter it up a little bit. Hey, Rance, I know I called you yesterday. I'm just calling at a different time today, just trying to catch up with you. One of the things I really hate is when I go on the internet and ask for information, people don't get back with me. And that drives me nuts. On the other hand, what also drives me nuts is when people call me and I don't want to be bugged. Here's what I'll tell you, Rance, if I'm bugging you, just let me know. Shoot me back a text, say you don't want to be talked to or something like that. I'm just here to help you out. And, you filled out the information. So I'm just trying to help you. Just let me know, right? That can be another message after you've done the initial one. Me personally, I like to put humor into everything I do. I think, or I feel, that if you can make someone laugh on the other line, I think they connect to you, right? You're a human being. You're not just some salesperson trying to steal their money. even though Glenn Ross, Alec Baldwin says that's all we're trying to do, right? On the video. Those of you who are on early watch the video or know what I'm talking about right now. So great question on that, Chris. You can absolutely alter it. But I think the very first one, you definitely want to get the detailed script in. I'm not opposed to you sending them a personal text with that thing completely typed out. Now, how would you do that? You could type it out one time, and then a millennial taught me this the other day. I'm so excited I learned it. You save it in your notes on your phone. Instead of retyping it each and every single time, you save it in your notes on your phone. Then you just go in, you copy it, and you can paste it into the next one. Just make sure you change the name out. Don't make the crucial mistake of saying the name. Oh, somebody's putting their notes up right there. Who's showing off? Mike Farrell showing off his notes section. See, who says baby boomers can't figure out technology, Mike? They don't know what the hell they're talking about. But I wouldn't be opposed to, on your first text, sending out a long form text of what you're saying on the voicemail and saying that to him. Go ahead, Stace.
So
What were you gonna say?
just wrapped it up real fast. This is obviously, I just typed it out, but it's pretty close to what I will text. And I put, thank you, Jim, for visiting our site recently. I see you're looking at homes in New Albany around 400,000. My name's Stacy Lambright with eXp Realty. First, and I have first in capital letters, I am a real person, and I put emojis. Emojis are big. So I did the smiley face and then the up down smiley face, and local, and I'd love to help you search. I'm sure you're watching this market and see how crazy it's become. A house goes on the market and it's gone in 24 hours. I call it the wild, wild west of real estate. Be real, be funny with this stuff.
Yeah.
We have shadow inventory. And now this is a word I use all the time because they've now heard, I used to use coming soon, but now what is coming soon? It's a term that's already out there. Zillow's using it, realtor.com. So they're like, I've already seen the coming soon inventory. So I use shadow inventory because they want to know what that is. What does that mean? I've never heard that before. We have shadow inventory and homes that are coming that haven't hit the third-party sites yet. Also programs that might help you change your price point to bring more homes into consideration, like grants, down payment assistance, and crazy seller paid points to lower your rate. Are there other areas you're considering or open to? Inventory is so low, and I want to send you as many upcoming homes, that's another word, as possible. So that's my text. It's got a hook in there. It's a soft hook. It's joking. It's letting them know we're local. I'm sure no one's talking to them, nor are they finding on the internet these the grants, the down payment assistance. And what do you mean seller paying points to lower my rate?
Right. That's a huge, if you can find someone's pain point and then solve that pain, they're going to be interested in talking to you, right? So that's a gold. I see somebody, Candace says that's gold. Can you send that in the chat? She said, yep. So Stacey's going to put that in the chat. Also, obviously you guys can go back and get these recordings, and you'll be able to pause it and write it out if you want to handwrite it and make it your own. I would recommend going through, writing it out, making it your own, creating it so it sounds like you, so that you can just regurgitate it when you're spitting it out. This is the same format I use every time I greet someone for the first time that doesn't know who the hell I am and I haven't met them, right? And how do I hook them to get them to talk? I do the same thing, you've seen it before on open houses, right? I always have my USPs, unique selling propositions, at the open house. They're going to see 5 other realtors that day, but I guarantee I'm the only one talking about grant money programs, homes for heroes, ways that we can get you in and see houses that haven't hit the market yet that you're not going to find on the internet. That's a big one because they're all out there searching on the Zillow. We spit when we say the Z word in this house, even though we're in Orlando, and realtor.com and things like that. Okay. So great. Who else wants to do? I know Mike Farrell's probably got a script or a tip or two in there on internet leads. Krista Johnson. Oh, she's like, why did I jump on the live call today? You've worked these leads now for a couple of years now, right? What have you found to be successful in calling Krista's leads? These exact leads, Krista has had massive success in the past. Before her and Chris kind of went different ways for a little bit. Now they're back together, the dream team. What did you use, Krista, when you called them? What was your biggest success factor you saw? Go ahead and fill everybody in.
Hi, well, definitely it helps having good leads. And on Chris's team, I was consistently one of his top agents, and I always had a lot of other agents asking me, well, what do you do? And I'm like, I just do what Chris tells me to do. Chris had like a set format, calling, texting, email. like as soon as the lead came in, I just started texting. Usually that was the best, but you know, there's some people that prefer phone calls, some people that prefer emails. I just followed what Chris told me to do, and I'm going to follow what you guys tell me to do. And I feel like, you know, that's successful. You have to be consistent and communicate the way that they want to, which you mentioned that, right? If they are texters or they want to talk or they want to email, you communicate their way.
Krista, I love what you said, and I want you to repeat it again. How soon did you contact them?
Immediately.
Immediately, not like the next day or 12 hours later after it came in, immediately.
Right.
Yes. Okay. So what's happening right now, guys, is some of these leads have been cultivating out there for years, right? And Chris is kind of pushing them through. By the way, Chris has a huge backlog. And there's a lot of leads to come through here. It's going to be like a deer swallowing an anaconda, this big glut of leads coming through. But Stacey, go ahead and say what you said earlier about being overwhelmed. What did you want people to do?
Yeah, so, and I did this, Chris I'm sure Chris has seen it because he's our back end guru, but I've got a good pile of Chris's leads that I want to work effectively. And then I knew that we were also coming here. So I was getting a little bit, they were coming in pretty consistently. So I got the word overwhelmed came in. So I just paused it. Don't be afraid to pause, because we would rather you work the leads that you have very effectively than have a bunch of leads that you don't work enough, if that makes sense. So no need to, I think we already had some person that's thinking about getting out and said, don't do that, just pause it. And plus we're perfecting this as we go and we're here to help you. It's an amazing lead source. So just pause if you need to take a break. You can even, if there's a lead that you're having a hard time connecting with or that you don't connect with, you can put it back in the pond. Let someone else take a stab at it.
Yeah. And so people don't know what that is. You'll want to watch the training on it, make sure you understand what the pond is. But you don't have to remove yourself from the entire group. If you're getting overwhelmed or something like that, if it's too much for you, you can stay in the group. And look, maybe you got something going on in life. I need to pause the leads for a month that are coming in. Cool. Just do that. Just put yourself on pause. Go ahead.
So real quick, hey, Mike, I don't know if we need Derek on here or not, but can you give us a lender update on what the leads are coming through, like on your side?
Yeah.
Or-
So we got a whole section from Mike after we cover this part right here.
Okay,
Yeah.
I couldn't get logged in from my phone, so if we can pop over real fast and put that chat in there. Yeah,
Pretty much my understanding is that you guys want to have the agent contact first and then share the card. So that's when we're getting them. So over the weekend, I got a couple from Krista. We are responding to the app being shared. If the app is shared, we're going to respond. And one thing that Jim, just kind of a highlight, you asked our feedback on internet leads. We find a lot of times when you're making a phone call, somebody might be hesitant to talk to a live person, but it's always best to make the phone call. If you don't get them on the phone, leave a message and then follow up with a text message. They may respond to a text message before they respond to a voice and engaging with you. So what we do when we get internet leads is we will call, send a text message, and then share the app. So understand, when you share your app, our app, it is a joint app. It's a co-branded app. You're sharing yourself. So to Stacey's point, it's a live person responding. They called live, they sent a text message, followed up with a text, and in the text, let them know that, hey, I'm sharing an app with you. You're planting 3 different seeds. They're gonna call back on voice, or they're gonna respond by text, or they're gonna go in and look at the app. And when they go in and look at the app, we know they're looking at it. So they're engaging, and we can gauge how our response is going to be. So you really have three points of contact to try to make on that first approach. And I would definitely encourage that as much as possible. But our response is, Krista shared the app. We responded on Friday night, Saturday morning. That is our point of response. When you share the app, that's our engagement. We don't want to overstep the process that has been set up with Chris and Derek in regards to when anything automated goes out on our behalf.
And 2, I want to can't stress enough, if you guys can take the calls, if that live connect comes through, don't hit 2 to call them later. Take the live call, because that's your best chance to connect with them.
But real quick, does anybody does not know what the live call is, right? Payvicore leads, team leads is contacting you. When that phone rings, that is going to be a live, immediate. Right now, it's a glut of leads coming through, but when the live person's on, that means they were just on. Once this is set up, They were just on the computer and filled out the form. You're literally getting them right then.
And here's a trick that I found when that comes through, don't really quickly hit one, because as you guys know, as you pick up, it says someone is looking for, 300,000 in Westerville.
Right.
Don't hit one right away. Let it play and give you the options, like hit 2 to do this, or if you don't know what to say, because if you notice, it actually sends you the text while it's talking. So hit that text really fast and that'll give you their name.
So put it on speaker, hold it away from your face, go to your text, and the text sends you. You can click on
While
it
it's still talking in the background.
while the
you wanna
robot's
hit
talking to
2,
you.
You want to see this script. And so I see their name.
Yeah.
And then I hit 1. So now I've got their name, which is way more, because I learned that really quick, because if I hit 1, I didn't know their name. I knew where they were looking and what price point, but I didn't know their name yet.
Very important. You have to have the KV Core app on your phone. So make sure you have that download. That was part of the directions, right? On doing that, make sure you have the KV Core app on there, and you can hit it. All their information, everything is going to be sitting there in front of you while the robot's talking. Then you can hit the 1 to do the live connect. And now you've got their contact info. You have pen and paper in your hand for taking some handwritten notes, and you can see what's going on while you're talking.
And then it's still big brotherish to them. Like I have one lady that was
Like,
just,
whoa, what?
yeah, that was just like, I knew if I put my phone number in, you were going to call me right back. But so start joking with them. That first connect is so crucial. Don't go into sales mode. Don't go into like, just get them laughing. I literally talk to them and say, I know that's, I know this is big brotherish, but I can't help. I am local. Let me tell you, I'm not a robot. I am from New Albany. Like
Yeah.
I get them like just talking a little bit, because
Yeah.
that's the best way. And then try to build a little rapport.
So these things that you're putting in here, you can send it in long format. You definitely have to call them. Why? Even though you're going to go to voicemail 99% of the time, you have to call them, because the sound of your voice humanizes you. As we know right now, ChatGPT and AI, right? It's going to get more and more important for people to hear your voice and see your face, because people can use ChatGPT responders and it's going to look like a human being responding to them. Human beings need to hear the voice and see your face. And that's why we're doing videos too, to increase your response rate. You can send the exact same video of what you're sending on the voicemail. You can text them your video, and you can email it to them too, if they're email people, which a lot of people are email people still. And you can send it to them and they see your face and hear your voice. The connection is there. You're a human being. You're not from some call center over, somewhere, even realtor.com and Obsidian, all those use call centers. This is the person they're going to be dealing with. I love the fact, hey, here in New Albany, right? Just out walking the dog, right? Whatever you need to do to humanize yourself. And I see Mike's still unmuted. Go for it.
Just one question. Is there any protocol or restrictions of calling? Let's say the lead came in at 10:30 at night. What's the protocol at that point?
Yeah, so after hours, I still leave if I'm awake. I'm not after 10 o'clock, but Stacy's still awake after 10 o'clock. You can still send the text and things like that, but ringing their phone is a no-no.
And just again, consider all these as a live, as a real person. So my text in that situation would be, hey, I see you're a
I know it's late.
I see you're a night owl like me. I'm actually on the computer also. If you want me to help add a couple houses into the search and just do that same script, turn that script into what you were just talking about. I have some shadow inventory. How can I help?
Yep.
Just so you guys know, like, the KV Core office has set hours, that's done through the broker, from 9 a.m. or 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Perfect.
So any leads that come in after 10 p.m. will not be routed to the agents. It'll actually go directly to the Jim and Stacy account, which will then go to the pond in the morning.
Okay.
So,
Great.
we had one agent where, 10 p.m. was too late. And I've been trying to find a way to either override it to like 9 p.m. or something, but I haven't been able to figure that part out from the KV Core side. But one thing I'm trying to do now is program the Sierra side so it won't push leads over after 9 p.m. So
I'll take all the 9 to 10.
She'll take until midnight.
I take until midnight.
yeah, and that's what will happen. They'll push into the Jim and Stacy account, which is then the pond account.
So one thing to reiterate to everybody, thanks, Chris, on that is that, again, we are doing the ready, fire, aim approach on this. What I mean by that is we did not want to sit paralysis by analysis, just sitting there trying to figure it out until we start pushing the leads. We're pushing the leads and we're going to figure them out as we go here. So we're going to adjust these things on the fly. So as you see workflow type hangups, like Rand said a great one the other day. I'm glad he pointed that out to me because that made a lot of sense. Like, hey, the number was 614-555-5555. How do I handle that? Am I getting pulled out of the rotation if I don't call a bad number 9 times? The answer is no. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the contact record. You're going to delete the phone number and save it because it's bad, right? You can go in, you can edit the contact, and then that should stop the phone call automations. And the reason I say should, Rance, is because we're starting that today. So we'll see what happens with that, but that should stop the automation of having you pulled out of the rotation on that. And we're going to figure this out as we go. We're all learning KV Core teams at the exact same time you are. So we're figuring that out. Krista Johnson, I wanted to say thank you earlier, by the way, jumping on and saying that before you jumped up. I didn't get to say thank you for.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem.
That was great. Great stuff. Great insight on Chris's leads. The immediate approach on them. Melissa, go for it.
I just had a question. The like automated text and emails, the campaigns, are those already set up, or is that something that we need to do? And
great. No, it's a great question. So they're already set up. And KV Core has taken what's called the law of large numbers. They've been doing this they've sent tens of millions of automated messages, and they know what gets buyers to respond. And so a lot of this in the campaign that's already set up is maybe not exactly how you would talk, but they're made by the robot to elicit a response so that you can start the personal communication, right? They've done it. I'm hoping to hook up with Jeff Whitespear while we're here in Orlando and see if he can give us what they're using in Houston, and we can just copy and bring it over without too much headache.
And two, I want to point out, and this is crucial, and I'm bad at this. I've got to remember to do it. Luckily, I joke with my people that, hey, you might get messages from Robot Stacy also at the same time. She calls it still Robot Stacy. It makes them laugh. Because if once you start communication, switch them to an active lead. Right. Because then it stops that generic campaign. But make sure at that point that you're doing your own stuff, because now you've pulled them off of the automated touches. But in the you can toggle down and switch them from a new lead to an active lead, and it'll stop the current campaigns that are attached to it, which are the more generic ones. But at that point, you must take over. Like every point of communication at that point is up to you, and make sure you're adding notes into the system. This is that way it turns into more of you taking over and not the robot, if that makes
everybody
sense.
See this right here, smart CRM, right? BELP leads, go down here, new lead, you click on it, and then you can downbox it, you can change it into an active lead. Everyone see that, and what it does, it changes the automation and the setups and things like that. Okay, that's all in the training. This is not my computer, so I'm playing with a touchpad, tiny little thing here. All right, cool.
Two things to expand on that. One, I'm seeing a glitch where some agents have their own campaigns that are also being added when new leads come in. So there's 2 active campaigns being added at this, like when a new lead comes in. I'm trying to figure out if it's everyone, where it's like a default KV Core setting, or it might actually just be on your Jim and Stacy account where the lead goes to you guys if no one claims it, and then it might be, it's like a Facebook one or something. So we might have to play around with figuring that out to make sure that multiple campaigns are not getting added at the same time.
Hey Chris, when you log into my account with my password stuff and see if it's me doing that, I think I screwed that up.
Okay, I still can't get on yours. It kicked me out,
or
I don't know, like ban my IP or whatever.
Can I borrow your brain for a day and go into my account and try to figure it out? And then I'll give your brain back to you. When I'm done.
Hey Jim.
Yes. Go ahead.
Hey, I wanted to speak on what Chris just said about multiple campaigns getting assigned. So, Chris, these are coming through Zapier, right? So, what my understanding is that like you have a specific hashtag assigned to it in Zapier, and then that hashtag has to coordinate with your campaign in KV Core. So even if I have for example, I have multiple smart campaigns set up. Even if I have one that says like assign this campaign to a new lead, as long as I have the specific hashtag applied to that campaign, that should be the only campaign that applies to it. So like, I don't know if there's like, I don't know, I don't know how it's set up on the back end, but my assumption is like my hashtag new build leads should not get the same campaign, even though they're a new lead, than what yours are coming in. So I think that's just going to have to be something like we'll have to figure out, like if anyone has like the exact same hashtag. Like my assumption is you put like new lead comes in, hashtag new build ad or whatever. Like for me, for example, those ones only get that campaign.
Yeah.
And
So-
then yours, yeah.
Yeah, so you're right. For my leads, I use BELP lead or something like that. So that's what triggers my campaign. But I think what's happening is some people might have campaigns that aren't tag triggered, that they're just any lead that comes in, it grabs it. So what they'll probably need to do, I think there might even be like a negative where you can say, don't apply this campaign if this tag's applied or something like that. So if agents have their own campaigns that they want to use because they're more advanced, then we might have to have them go in and tweak their campaign so it doesn't trigger on the leads that I send or something. So we'll have to play around with it a little bit.
For sure. Yeah. No,
And
that
for
makes
anybody
sense.
who didn't understand any of that, that's fine. You're just like me. I'm just like, what? Huh? Hashtag who? I just,
That's why we have Chris.
yeah, that's why we have really smart people like Chris and Candace to help us figure this stuff out as we go on. So great point on that, Candace. Yeah, you guys, if you guys want to get together and even talk about it and share screens and stuff, that would be friggin' awesome. And we'll go from there. Rants, been patiently waiting.
Yep.
Go for it, brother.
Oh, no, I just wanted to piggyback off what Stacy was saying about the active lead thing. I noticed the other day I was texting back and forth with a lead. They were a new lead in KV Core, but I think after we exchanged about 4 texts in total, when I went back into KV Core, they were switched to an active lead automatically. And then, of course, they have no campaign assigned to them. So I did notice that.
So then you need to manually add or have a rule set up once they switch to active that they go to an actual Rance Robinson campaign, maybe.
So I'll point out, here's the difference, and don't ever do, what's that saying? Do as I say, not as I do. I don't use the KV Core app. When it comes in, I use my phone number, to text. So that's smart because it looks like it's automatic. I have to manually switch them to an active lead because I'm using my phone number, my email. I'm not using the KV Core system, which I should. That's what I'm saying. I got to get better at this too. So it sounds like it automatically does it, which is perfect when you're, but then you got to remember to take over at that point.
The nice thing about keeping in your emails and things like that, your automated stuff going out, keeping the smart campaign phone number in there is if they ever call that number back in the future, the system automatically reroutes the lead back to you. If the lead's assigned to you, as long as you've done everything on
Melinda
it.
looks like lost.
She's not lost.
So Melinda, what it is, I know you're just getting used to the KV Core system. You can actually click a button and respond to them through KV Core, which will text them for you, email them for you and stuff like that. It's just not coming from your email for your phone number.
By clicking on, when you have your desktop up, you go ahead and you click on make a phone call to them. Let me see if I can share the screen. This little tiny touchpad, my big meat hooks on here. When you go to make a call to them, let's see if I can move this screen out of the way.
At least a text or something.
Hang on. So I get into Ekran Tahil, right? I get in here to him and pass due to make a phone call, and I want to call him. So I can click on the little phone call. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. There's a call now button down here, right? If he's got multiple phone numbers, you'll get to select which number to call. You click call now. And what's going to happen is it's going to call us. So it's calling Stacy's phone right now. Go ahead, just hold it up there. You don't answer it. Right there, right? KV Core lead called in. She's going to call there. And then what it's going to do is it's going to attempt, you can just hang up. It's going to attempt to contact Mr. Tahil, and it'll log the call. It'll log how long you talked and everything like that. That's how it works from the desktop. from the KV Core app. If you go into it on the app on there and have his record up in front of you, just use the app, you're just clicking the call button in his record in the app, and it logs your call for you. So you can do it either way. Both ways will record the call, and it also keeps up with your calls that you're making on there. So what Stacy's going to do, by the way, because somebody said, hey, please put your email in the chat. You put in the BELP group. She's going to put in the BELP group. Also the BELP chat message group, not on this chat. We're going to put it on the chat here because the recording doesn't show the chat a lot of times. But we're also going to create a BELP private Facebook group where we can pin the stuff, like all the videos and things in there, not just a messenger group. We're going to create a BELP group here in a little bit. So you'll notice yourself getting added to that. You'll need to accept to get into it. It will be a secret group just for those of us who are in there that are in it. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep the BELP chat messenger group as clean as possible. If you're having individual problems or something like that, just come to us individually, like, hey, I can't make today's call. You don't need to post that in the BELP chat group, right? We just hit us up so we can get you the recording and go from there, right?
To clarify though, it is okay to put in that chat obstacles, maybe a hurdle that you got stumped with and stuff like that. Because
Right.
if you're hitting that obstacle or if you're hearing that objection, it'll help to see for other people are too.
Hey guys, my kid's sick. That doesn't need to go in the BELP group. Just
Right.
send that over to us privately or individually, and we'll handle stuff from there. So great job on everybody so far. Is anybody on here not getting leads yet?
Me.
Linda, okay. So we're adding you. You just completed the training just the other day, right? Yesterday, maybe?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Chris, Melinda, might be Melinda David, Melinda Kessler on there. Let's add her. I know she sent hers over. Anybody else not getting leads yet?
I do have a question.
Rochelle, you just completed yours. I just sent yours over. Go ahead. Who had a question? Who was talking?
Me.
Who's me?
Melinda.
Okay, good. There you are. All right.
Okay. Question. I hear you guys talking about before they are switched to what's called an active lead and new lead, they're set up on the automatic CRMs going out. Okay. So once we switch them to an active lead, I hear you talking about our personal CRMs. I don't have any personal CRM set up. So how do I get help doing that or find out how to do that or whatever? Who do I contact?
Did you go through that setup person, Kim? Did she set it up for you? The one where you paid the extra cash to?
No, she didn't set up.
No.
And keep in mind, Melinda, if you're really good at staying on top of the leads and just calling and texting them yourself, that's what that means. Because when you go to more of an active lead, you want it to be less robotic and more real, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the new leads, just because we haven't physically connected with them yet, like built the rapport, but once they go to an active lead, pretty much, I recommend, you can do it however you want, but at that point, I try to take the robotic part out of it and just be more active and turn them into a normal client. You know, with your normal clients that you've got searches set up for, you're checking on them, you're getting them out in the car, getting them to mic, that type thing.
Right. Well, what about the birthday things and all that that we have set up that when we put their information on there?
Yep, that's out of my pay grade. I definitely know it can do that. That's a great idea. Anniversaries, house anniversaries, once KB Core has that whole capability, even when they close, to do house anniversaries and stuff.
Right.
So yeah.
Excellent.
Yep. Definitely worth figuring out. Maybe we can even talk to someone and do a class for everybody. Find someone who knows how to do it.
Okay.
So Mike, I just added Aaron. Since you're in the group, I think you can request and I can improve it to add Derek because I can't find Derek on Facebook. So if you want to add him, Mike, on there, but Aaron, I added already. So
Hey, Jim.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say something just, I mean, like everyone has to be super, like you have to pay a lot of attention to your lead. It's like the profile itself, because I've had glitches happen where even if I move it to active lead, the campaign doesn't shut off. So just, you can actually go and look at what campaign is attached. Just make sure there's none, because if you don't and you're talking to the lead, sometimes those automated texts will still go out and then it confuses them. So just like pay attention to that and just make sure when you put it in active, or if it goes to active, that you look at the campaign and make sure there's no campaign attached unless there's a campaign you want them to have.
Is that
Yeah.
super
Great
easy
stuff
to
on that.
find and navigate, Candace?
So Melinda, there is
Yes.
one thing you'll love about KV Core is this. There's a chat box, and Rance just put this in here. there is a chat box in the lower right-hand corner that stays hidden. You click on that chat box and it expands up. You can ask any question about KV Core, and there's almost certainly a step-by-step video on how to do it. Like, you need help with campaigns, right? And so you can type that in there and it will have all the training in there. And if you can't get the training from the robot, you can get a live person that you can literally chat with and tell them my problem. Like, hey, I'm having this issue, and this issue. They'll work it out with you and either help you themselves, or they'll give you the link on how to do exactly what you're trying to learn.
But
Go ahead.
robots, what was your question? For Candace?
I think she asked if it's easy to find that. Yeah, it's right on the profile page.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So that's what I thought she asked. So real fast, switch back to our screen share.
Yeah,
I'll show
this-
her where
Yeah,
it's-
Jim should be able to show you. It should be on the left or maybe the bottom right.
Not
But
on this
you
tiny computer.
Maybe once we get all the tweaks out, maybe like once a
So
week or so, we can hop on like a separate Zoom and just go through the CRM side of things, like lead
That would
comes
be
in,
great.
this is where everything's at. You know, I'm still learning all this with KV Core too. So I don't necessarily, I'm not at the point where I can do that right now, but maybe like next week I can start, you know, doing a separate, you know, trainings for that part of it.
I'm trying to figure out where you
so
see.
bottom right, you see where it says active campaigns.
Yeah, there we are down here.
Yeah,
I
and
had
if
to
you-
move our faces.
Yeah, and if you click like the little pencil mark beside the campaign, you can actually, if you click on that,
If you get into that scroll thing and scroll, see, there you go.
you can remove the campaign or pause it. So if it's inactive, like if it's in an active lead status, you can turn off that campaign.
Like I just removed that secondary one. That's that.
Yes.
Yep.
Yay, thank you so much, Candace.
So this right here
For
will
sure.
automatically be, Chris has actually added that to all bars. See that right there? And then, yep.
One of the most important things I learned the other day, and I'm still exploring it, so don't ask me exactly how to do it yet. Stay right there. No, stay right there. Is directly below the active campaigns is the market reports. One of the main things we want to do with these clients, especially that are early in the process, is get them off Zillow, get them off realtor.com. We spit when we say the Z word in our house. And you want to start a market report for them. You want them using your KV Core site for searching for homes, for looking for them. And so you can add a market report to them and you can create a search for them, just like you would on MLS. You can create it for them inside of KV Core. And a lot of people aren't going to know how to set it up, right? They're not familiar with doing it. So watch a video on how to create a market report for a buyer and create one for them. Even if it's not exactly, make it nice and broad so it starts sending them houses, just like in the MLS. Why would you want to do it inside here versus MLS? Because it has better functionality and it's going to keep track of it better, because most of us are going to, you should be going to your KV Core every single day. If you're not, you're missing out, right, on the functionality and staying abreast of your people. But it's going to prioritize it. The system is going to prioritize your top 10 users of the system each day. So it's going to go through and go, wow, yesterday, these were the top 10 people. These are the people who looked at the most houses, saved the most houses, forwarded the most houses to their partner. And it'll tell you who you need to reach out to today. And so the more people you get put into the system, right, the more people you have market reports on, the more dialed in the system will get, so that you're only focusing on your top people, right? Who's most active? That's the great thing on that. Anyways, I want to throw that in there.
That's awesome.
The when leads come in, some of the leads will be automatically put on a broad search alert. Some of them, if there's not enough data passed, won't. So you kind of keep an eye out if there's a search set up already or not. If there's not, definitely, like Jim was saying, get one set up. If there is, and you start talking with the person, then you want to probably tweak that a little bit to be specific to what they're looking for. I usually suggest the rule of thumb, once they become a client, at that point, you might be able to, take them out of the KV Core and then set them up on the Flex search. Because at that point, it's, you're pinpointing a lot more criteria usually than what you can do in KV Core. But the longer you can keep them in KV Core, the better. It's like Jim was saying, it can you'll be able to see more what they're looking at and their activity, and get notified, through behavior alerts that, they're being active on the site.
I love it. Great on that. Great. Anybody else on here not getting leads? By the way, if you're watching this replay, if you're not getting leads, reach out to me. Let's see what you're missing. As far as, it was just 3 simple things to do, right? Watch the training, fill out Chris's jot form, which are awesome, right? Which is detailing the area that you want to be in, right? And then attend the mastermind.
Yeah, if you're added within the last couple of days, I had to slow leads down because people were getting overwhelmed. There weren't enough agents. So I'm at the point now where I got enough agents in here. I can ramp it back up. So if you were just added within the last day or two, leads should be getting to here shortly.
Like Rochelle, I think Rochelle, you just sent me over your completion certificate. So you just got added and things like that.
Don't forget the BELP pond, and let me show you where to find it.
Yep. You want me to share?
That's what I was just gonna ask. Also, when we start getting the leads, is it gonna come in as a phone call every single time, the lead?
Yes.
Phone, text, and email
Yep.
is how it should come in.
And so when that phone call comes in, you just got a lead sent to you. It's good to take it if you're able to take it. You were asking me to go ahead.
Absolutely. Every time I take all the live calls, because if you don't take them live, the chances of you getting back a hold of them are a lot less.
So Chris, address that a little bit right now on the call coming in. When the leads are hitting the site, those are going to be some of those, but these initial leads coming in are ones you've got backlogged, right?
So
like these are.
When you log into KV Core.
Let him finish. Let me answer that first and then go ahead.
All right. So yeah, there's 2 types of leads coming through. One are brand new leads that they push through that just registered on my website, my CR site, and then got pushed through via a program called Zapier. The other leads are the 50,000 leads on my old database that are them actively getting messages, searches and texts and stuff. Once they become flagged as active, like they viewed a property 5 times in a row or clicked on 3 searches in a row, stuff like that, then they get tagged as I call a priority lead. And those I was pushing over as well. So those might be ones that have been on the system for years with bad agents never calling them. So they just have free reign on the system. And now that we have agents actually calling them, a lot of them are like, who's this? Why are you calling me? So basically they've been using the system for all these years without being, having agents calling them. Now they're like, they're surprised, or I didn't register, so, their leads that are, on the system, actively looking at homes and stuff that, have a high likelihood of being a hot lead. They just aren't brand new. So you might have to adjust your script a little bit, to let them know, oh yeah, looks like you might have been on our site for a while. And,
are we going to know the difference?
Yes. You're going to look at the details in their KV Core record. It'll tell you.
So how are we going to do that real quick if the phone is ringing? How are we going to know all that?
Just like what Stacy said, the phone's going to ring. It's going to be the robot calling you and saying, hey, you've got a new lead.
Then wait for it for a few seconds till we get their name.
Press 1 to take it, or 2 to schedule the call for later.
No, we don't want to do that.
You can schedule it for later through KV Core. While doing that, you can either go to your desktop and pull up the record, or you can go to your text and click on the link that will take you to the KV Core app that takes you directly to their record, and you can see all the details. Oh, they've been on this site for 5 years, but they were active just now.
Is that enough time to do all that and accept the call 1 or 2?
Yeah.
No,
It's calling them. The system's calling you to let you know you have a new lead. They're not sitting there on hold. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, it won't call them until you press 1.
Yes.
Okay.
But there is a separate tag called BELP priority. Those are the ones that are not the new leads. Those are the priority leads that have been in the system a while that are getting tagged priority to get pushed over. So that's one way to identify the difference. Some cases, other than the tag, you might not know what the difference is, and that's where you just gotta kind of play it by ear.
Where would that tag be?
Where the tags are,
Just have-
on the, if you want to
Like
pull
if
one.
we get the call, if I get a call today and it's ringing in and I'm waiting for the text to come up, is it gonna say on that text what?
See this guy right here, Ikran Tahill. Can you see my screen?
Yeah,
See him right there? He's a BELP lead, BELP Western region. And so we
but
click.
but he said something about priority.
Yeah, so go back to that other screen real quick.
Okay.
And then, so scroll, so you got BELP lead is the generic tag. So-
Rajani Nana Dipapati.
Yeah, so that's a priority one. All the others were new leads. So like when you see like North, West region, Columbus.
Okay, I see the priority lead now on there,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it'll say it right on there. Okay,
And so
cool.
when I click on him, Melinda, if I go down here, it's got information on it. See, can you see the left-hand side of my
Yeah.
screen?
Yep,
So it talks about him, right? No activity of determined interest. He first signed up on 5/13/2023.
perfect.
Okay.
Okay,
He was generated by Google Organic. He came in off Google and Chris pushed him across Zenti, and it'll put all the other stuff below him if there's other stuff to tell you about it.
and we're gonna be able to see this from our KV Core app on our phone as
Yeah.
well, correct?
Or from your desktop. Yeah.
Okay, yes,
Okay.
okay, cool,
You got it.
perfect.
That helps a bunch, right?
Yes,
Okay,
whole lot.
perfect. Beautiful.
Thank you.
No, great questions. Great questions. These are all, we're learning this as we go too. I want to make sure Mike gets a chance to talk. If he's got anything to add, Mike, I know you're in the background. Listen, if you got anything to add, make sure I give you some time. And I know we ran over an hour here on this. These are really good. If anybody's got to jump off, we understand. Mike, go ahead. Go for it.
I don't have much. I just want to know on the KV Core app, Chris, is there any reason why my loan officers would need to have that on their phone?
Only if you want to use it. Yeah, it
Again,
sounds like we're like getting them to you guys once the agents talked with them. Yeah,
Again, we're responding to the share the app, and that's when we're engaging.
yeah.
And the share the app thing, once you connected with people and talk to them, and no matter where you are in the process, it's always a good idea to have an action plan. We've got a partner that's been working with us for 20 plus years. That's really good at going through all the programs that are available, including grant money programs, some zero down programs where you can buy all the great things that can formulate an action plan for you. So no matter where you are on your journey, it'd be a good idea to talk to them. Would you be interested in me sharing an app they have where you can start a communication? They're going to say, yeah, that'd be great. And you're going to send the app over. Say, great. Name's Mike Farrell, Total Choice Mortgage. Again, our team's been doing business with them since 2002, right, Stacy? Not 03. 2000 we argue over when we actually started.
And I just looked at everybody's app that's on this call, and everybody's live, everybody's active. So thank you very much.
And if you're watching this replay and you don't have the app and things like that, let us connect you with Total Choice Mortgage so you can get it if you're watching the replay. Great stuff. Any other questions and things like that? We respect everybody's time here. And Stacy has to get to the pool and have a beer before the conference. So we have to. Good stuff. All right. So the leads should start flowing in. We paused them. I saw somebody talking. Melinda, go ahead.
I was just laughing about your comment with Stacy at the pool.
Yeah, she's antsy. Look at her. You can tell.
That's probably you at the pool
Yeah.
drinking beer, not Stacy.
Morning beers would never have morning beers in Florida. Come on. All right. Anybody else? Let's see on here. Did we answer everybody's questions?
I was so nervous. Now I'm excited.
Good. And look, it's a learning experience for everybody as we work our way through this. Don't be afraid to use that KV Core chat box to get helped out with your individual questions. Don't be afraid to reach us out individually. If you have a lead you don't know how to respond to, send us a screenshot. We'll send you what we'd send back. And like we said, this is the smorgasbord. Take what you like, leave the rest. Does anybody have any tips or tricks they'd like to throw in before we jump off for calling back leads? No, we didn't. We got distracted. No, it's my brain. Sorry, I'm distracted. This is how you get to the BELP pond. Stacy's going to show you right now how to get to it once we use this tiny screen. There you go.
So really fast, you're going to come, when you log into KV Core, this is your dashboard. To get to the BELP pond, you have to go to Smart CRM, click it, and then at the top is the BELP fishing pond.
Buckeye EXP Leads Program, BELP Fishing Pond.
Yep. So you click in there, there's probably some in there.
Oh, there's only 34.
There's only 30. So Melinda, are you seeing this? Because you can go in now and grab some of these. And
Yes, I am.
And
it'll
I'm
tell
gonna,
you- it'll tell you off to the side, like what they're looking for. Here's 154, 996.
Some have been claimed, some have not. Look at, yes, Cindy, Melissa Rance getting in there. Cindy Ettrick,
There's
beautiful
one for
Jeannie.
195.
There you go.
These should be returned. But-
Don't be afraid to,
Oh, there you go, Melinda. 955, 955,000.
Actually,
Oh, yeah.
252. Yep, grab
That's
those.
the sweet spot.
So get in
The
there. Don't forget,
250s.
when you
Look at-
grab them,
Look at this one, 370.
start banging out those phone calls, because guess what? They're gonna end up back in the pond if you don't bust out your calls. So
Yeah.
get
You
in
know
there,
me, I can talk all day, so.
get in there and start calling them.
And
All right.
All you have to do is click on them and it'll claim the lead at the
Yeah.
bottom.
All right, cool. Thank you so much.
Click on their name and then claim the lead at the bottom is on the left
Yeah,
hand side.
and look, as soon as we get this thing oiled and running, ladies and gentlemen, Chris has more leads than you can call. I promise you.
And we covered the background.
There is a huge, yeah, we covered the bad phone number thing. But get after it and let's go get them, man. Let's make some money. Sales are off for real estate across the entire country, but not for us. We're gonna rock and roll. It's gonna be a great year, and this is gonna do it for you right here. Krista Johnson,
Yeah, Stacy, I couldn't see where you went to get to the
Ah.
pond.
it's my phone. I should say,
Yeah,
gonna say you were
you-
too fast, Jim. Hang on, this is because this is worth seeing. All right,
So-
so you go ahead.
So when you log in, when you first log in, you come into your dashboard. This is your dashboard.
Upper left dashboard.
So on the left-hand side, see the Smart CRM?
I don't have dashboard.
kvcore.exp. Are you on your phone or you're on your computer?
Computer.
Yep. So you're going to go to kvcore.exprealty.com. You're going to log in there. And when you do, it's going to pull up your dashboard first thing.
Or just kvcore.com.
Oh, I see. I had to expand it. Okay, so now I have dashboard.
Down to your Smart CRM and you hit all contacts. And then see it across the top here.
Elk Pond.
So the Belt Pond's an old pond that I created in your account, Jim.
Okay.
The Belt Fishing Pond's the new one that I created in my admin account.
Okay.
Because I couldn't access the old one.
Okay.
Got it.
So
I don't
Belt
have those.
You might not have been added yet.
Okay.
I'll make sure everyone's added here like right now. So I gotta manually add people to those.
You got to earn your way into the pond, baby, if you want to know where the good fishing holes are.
Let's see.
And 20.
Settings.
Yeah, I just got approved yesterday, so maybe that's why. So I haven't gotten any leads yet, but
Yeah, like I mentioned, it'll take a day or so to once you're added, because then you're basically on the bottom of the rotation list. So
Yeah, add me too, Chris, if you haven't already, please.
And then Melinda, watch here, when you click on like Brandy, you have to scroll down and claim lead at the, see left.
On the lower left-hand side.
all right, so
Oh, okay.
I added Krista and Melinda. If anyone else is not seeing it, let me know.
Let
I'll
Chris
try
know if you're not in the pond.
And
Not good access to the pond.
as soon as this call is over, I'm gonna add more leads to the pond.
Ooh,
Mhm.
maybe somebody's got some time this morning to make some calls, baby.
Well, actually, I'm
Fun.
not. Never mind. They've all been claimed, so there's
All right.
nothing to add.
All right, good deal.
So that's good.
Beautiful. And then, so Chris has got more leads to start sending in. So we're getting everything oiled. Everybody's get their calls. Make sure you're not out of the rotation, right? Because of to stay in the rotation, you have to be calling your leads and then also attending or watching the Wednesday training that we do. It's very important. Everybody get stuff out of today? Yes? Besides learning some new curse words first thing when it started.
how do you claim them? Now I can see them. How do I claim?
Lower left-hand corner,
Yeah, click their name first,
click their name.
not the new lead, but their name, their name.
You see where we're at here? See- You're clicking their name and then scroll down. Somebody already claimed. There we go.
Yeah.
Already claimed. But down here, it'll say on the lower left-hand side, it'll say claim lead.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Stacy and our account looks a little different because we're admin. That's why we're working our way around it here. Okay, everybody,
Hey,
let's, yes, go for it.
Can everybody like just like share their wins every time, like every week, if we have a closing or something, just to keep everyone motivated?
I think that I'm going to, I'm just going to call people next time because I think that it's very important that everybody see the win, because each little, we get beat down in sales, right? It's important for everybody to share the win. It's a great thing, Melissa. I think everybody takes 15 seconds and share their win next week, something that they had good happen for them, just to keep everybody's spirits up.
Really
And
just related like to this program, you know, like just to see that
Yeah.
these leads really are working, you know, if you work it, it works.
Oh yeah. Yep. Perfect. The leads don't suck. They're awesome. They're coming to us. They're looking for realtors. Mike Farrell, anything? Chris Lott? Stacy Lambright?
I'm good.
I think we're good.
Great job, guys. The recording will get posted. Remember to accept the BELP Facebook secret group you're going to get added to. We'll put all the old videos in there, all postings in there. We'll try to keep the chat group as clean as possible as we can, just for important information. And you do have a mass texting group with everybody for this?
No, I did just skip you.
We're going to create a Scipio mass texting group also that you'll be getting from our Scipio number that comes in, which is our mass texting one.
You should have got a message last night to see who was at shareholders.
Yeah, there was one that went out last night, but also we'll create a smaller subset group for the BELP group. Same phone number. Okay, cool. All right, that's enough. As Stacy said, you beat that into the ground. Bye, everybody. See you. Let me stop the recording. Bye. There's the stop button.
Bye.
welcome.
Have a good day, guys. Have fun.